In 2013, there was a young black man named Terrance Franklin.
Listen!
Had it.
Right in the curb.
There's nothing wrong with this house, but there's blood on this land. Any indigenous person can tell you that. That's trauma we're born into. This is trauma that is hidden from us. These are stories that are taken from us. Terrance Franklin was shot in the basement of this house by the Minneapolis Police Department.
Listen!
Ballistics showed that he was shot in the back of his head. That's execution style. That's 2013. That's when Lisa Bender came into her office. That's when leadership could have done something, could have been affected. My charge on all of you, especially white people, is to treat your community, is to put your skin in the game. If you're at the March for Elijah McClain, or really any march, you know that when you come out here, it's a day that your life could be lost. And you have to ask yourself, am I willing to die for this march or this cause today?
Yes.
If the answer is no, stay home.
That's right.
Listen!
If the answer is yes, as Kim Handy would say, get on your boots and put them on the ground. I don't know the exact details of Terrance Franklin, but what I do know is that Lindale was backed up north to south. Hennepin was backed up north to south. They said he had somehow grabbed a gun, went into the house, something went off. The story was changed, the narrative was lied upon, and the killing was justified. It was so exigent that cops coming to here blazed through stoplights and absolutely murdered
Yes.
a man and woman on their motorcycle.
Yep. Listen.
This is your police department, and they don't care. That casualty was not mentioned. That story is not told of those people that were hit by the cops. To them, that's just something that happened on the way to get to where they needed to do something. There's no flowers for those people. There's no flowers for Terrance Franklin. And when Terrance Franklin was murdered, a lot of people started asking questions. But a lot of white people didn't start listening like they should have when George Floyd was killed. If you're white and you're in this march, you're late.
Listen!
You're not on time. You want to complain about people of color being late? We show up on time for justice every time. Might be late for some of your schedules, but we show up on time for our people.
That's right.
And if you missed it, if you missed Terrance Franklin, you missed a big one.
Yes.
You missed a huge one.
Yes.
Because he should be with us right now.
Yes.
All of them should. We are doing the work that the dead cannot.
Yes.
We are saying the words that the deceased bodies cannot. White folks, you have to at least align yourself with Communities United Against Police Brutality, align yourselves with each other, create a community-based police cop watch.
That's right.
Put your money, or your mouth is, put your skin in the game. Become an ally. I spoke with Terrance's father today. He's a guy. He's picked up the phone. He's going about his life. He's not like, he's the same as all the people you saw at Muller Park. They live with that trauma every day. When your grandmother or your grandfather or somebody passes away unexpectedly or timely, you know it's for a reason that happened. But when they're stolen and somebody tells you it's justified, that trauma runs deep.
Yeah.
It runs very deep. And you have to live in a city, or like Gabe Black Elk, leave a city where they continually disrespect your name, disrespect your loved one that they took, and disrespect and change your narrative. You are here today being charged with carrying the narrative of all the lost ones to the police department, unjustly, modern day lynched, murdered right before this city, whether or not they were filmed. So I spoke with Walt and made a promise with Walt. Couldn't come. Walt Franklin, Terrance's dad, said he couldn't make it today. There's legal things with that, and also can't get out of work. He said he could show up on a Saturday. Still got to go to work, right? Got to carry the trauma. Still got to pay those bills. Just like Kobe Heisler's mother said. Still got to live my life. Still got to go day to day. Still got to keep my friendships and my family up. Still got to keep myself up. These are things that people carry forever. And this is generational trauma that gets passed down. Walt said, he said, no one knows the true story of what actually happened with Terrance. He said what had happened, he hoped Terrance would be the last. And then Jamar Clark happened. He said he wants police to operate differently and not be so violent. That's a black man that is asking that. And that's a black man that shouldn't have to ask that.
Right.
That's a black man who should still have his son here.
Listen.
Terrance Franklin is someone we all should have known.
Yes, he is.
Terrance Franklin could have been somebody that's a street person referenced at the Spy House. That's where it starts.
Yes.
White people, check your thoughts to your language, to your behavior, to your actions.
That's right.
Where are you being complicit in white supremacy and the narratives of Black Lives Lost like Terrance Franklin? And lastly, we don't need to be Walt Franklin to mourn Terrance's death.
Listen.
It ain't got to be your son.
No.
It ain't got to be your brother. It ain't got to be your nephew. You shouldn't have to have a traumatic tie to show up.
Right.
You should just want to show up.
Yes.
You should make this your duty. You should make this your life.
That's right.
And you should not stop. You should keep going. And you should know that at some point, we will win.
That's right. We will win.
I don't know what the win is going to look like. I don't know what the event is going to look like or the place is going to look like. But I do know who will be there, and it will be all of you. So right now, what I would love to do for Walt, because I told him I send the video, and it's odd having a stranger reach out to you and say you're going to ride for his son that he never met. It's odd on his end. But he takes the call and he talks because he's Walt and he's just going about his life. So right now, what I would like us to do is take a minute of silence and then to walk back to the park in silence, where we'll have one quick speak and we'll eat some food. Let's take this minute of silence for Terrance Franklin and walk back in silence right now.